Hey everybody, welcome back. Once again, wasn't looking at the time and it was up to 15 minutes. That's the limit now, I guess, on um, video length. So we ended on page 81, on the very bottom, where it says, do you know that books smell like nutmeg? So there you go. So remember, bottom of the page 81. 81. Here we go. Do you know that books smell like nutmeg, or some spice from a foreign land? I loved to smell them when I was a boy. Lord, there were a lot of lovely books. Once before, we let them go. Faber turned the page. Mr. Montag, you are looking at a coward. I saw the way things were going, a long time back. I said nothing. I'm one of the innocents, who could have spoken up and out when no one would listen to the guilty. But I did not speak, and thus became guilty myself. And when finally they set the structure to burn the book, using the firemen, I grunted a few times and subsided. For there were no others grunting or yelling with me. By then, now it's too late. By then, now it's too late. Sorry. Alright. Faber closed the Bible. Well, suppose you tell me why you came here. Nobody listens anymore. I can't talk to the walls because they're yelling at me. I can't talk to my wife. She listens to the walls. I just want someone to hear what I have to say. And maybe if I talk long enough, it'll make sense. And I want you to teach me to understand what I read. Faber examined Montag's thin, blue-jowled face. How do you get shaken up? What knocks the torch out of your hand? I don't know. We have everything we need to be happy, but we aren't happy. Something's missing. I looked around. The only thing I positively knew was gone was the book. I'd burned in 10 or 12 years, so I thought books might help. You're a hopeless romantic, said Faber. It would be funny if it were not serious. It's not books you need. It's some of the things that once were in books. That once were in books. The same thing could be in the parlor family today. The same infinite detail and awareness could be projected through the radios and televisors, but are not. No, it's not books at all. It's not books at all you're looking for. Take it. Where can you find it in an old phonograph record, old motion pictures, and old friends? Look for it in nature, and look for it in yourself. Books were for it. Wait, what? Books were only one type of one type of receptacle where we stored a lot of things. We were afraid, and we might forget. There's nothing magical in them at all. The magic is only what books say. How they've stitched the patches of the universe together into one garment for us. Of course you couldn't know this. Of course you still can't understand what I mean when I say all this. You're intuitively right. That's what counts. 3 things are missing. Number 1, you do not know why books such as these are so important. Because they have quality. And what does the word quality mean? To me, it means texture. This book has pores. It has features. This book can go under the microscope, and you'd find life under the glasses. Steaming past an infinite profusion. Oh, profusion! The more pores, the more truthfully recorded details of life per square inch you can get on a sheet of paper, the more literary you are. That's my definition anyway. Telling detail, fresh details. The good writers touch life often. The, the mediocre ones run a quick hand over her. The banned ones rape her and leave her for the flies. So now do you see what books are hated, why books are hated and feared? They show the pores in your face of life. The comfortable people want only wax-moon faces, poreless, hairless, expressionless. We are living in a time where flowers are trying to live on flowers, instead of growing on good rain and black loam. Even fireworks, for all the prettiness, come from the chemistry of the earth. Yet somehow we think we can grow feeding on flowers and fireworks without completing the cycle back to reality. Do you know the legend of Hercules and Antaeus, the giant wrestler, whose strength was incredible, so long as he stood firmly on the earth? But when he was held rootless in mid-air by Hercules, he perished easily. If there isn't something in that legend for us today, in this city, in our time, then I'm completely insane. Well, there we have it. The first thing I said we need, quality, texture of information, and the second, leisure. Oh, but we have plenty of off hours. Off hours, yes, but time to think? If you're not driving 100 miles an hour at a clip where you can't think of anything else but the danger, then you're playing some game or sitting in some room where you can't argue with the four-wall television. Why? The televisor is real. It's immediate. It has dimensions. It tells you what to think and blocks it in. It must be right. It seems so right. It rushes you on so quickly. Its own conclusions your mind hasn't time to process. To protest. What nonsense. Only the family is people. I beg pardon. My family says books aren't real. Thank God for that. You can shut them. Say, hold on a moment. You play God to it. But who has ever torn himself from the claw of enclosures? You, when you drop a scene in a TV parlor. It grows you any shape it wishes. It is an environment as real as the world. It becomes and is the truth. Books can be beaten down with reason, but all my knowledge and skepticism I have never been able to argue a 100-piece symphony orchestra, full color, my voice is cracking, full color and 3 dimension, and being in part of those incredible parlors. As you see, my parlor is nothing but 4 plaster walls, and here he held out 2 small rubber cups for my ears when I ride the subway jet. Denim dentrifice, they toil not, neither do they spend, said Montague's eyes shut. Where do we go from here? Would books help us? Only if the 3rd necessary thing could be given us. Number 1, as I said, quality of information. Number 2, leisure, to digest it. And number 3, the right to carry out action based on what we learned from the interaction of the first 2. And I hardly think a very old man and fireman turned sour to do much this late in the game. I can get books. You're running a risk. That's the good part of dying. When you have nothing to lose, you run any risk you want. There you've said an interesting thing, laughed Tabor, without having read it. Are things like that in books? But it came off the top of my mind. All the better. You didn't fancy it up for me, or anyone, even yourself. Montague leaned forward. This afternoon I thought if it turned out that books were worthwhile, we might get a press and print some extra copies. We? You and I. Oh no, Faber sat up. But let me tell you my plan. If you insist on telling me, I must ask you to leave. But aren't you interested? Not if you're Not if you start talking the sort of talk that might get me burnt for my trouble. The only way I could possibly listen to you would be if the fireman's structure itself could be burnt. Now if your fungus that we print extra books and arrange to have them hidden in fireman houses all over the country, so that seeds of suspicion would be sown among these arsonists. Bravo, I'd say. Plant the book, turn in an alarm, and see the fireman's houses burn. Is that what you mean? Oh, my hair is so annoying. Okay. Faber raised his brows and looked at Montag as if he were seeing a new man. I was joking. If you thought it would be a plan worth trying, I'd have to take your word I have to take your word it would help. You can't guarantee things like that. After all, when we had all the books we needed, we still insisted on finding the highest cliff to jump off. But we do need a breather. We do need knowledge. And perhaps in 1,000 years we might pick smaller cliffs to jump off. The books are to remind us what ashes and fools we are. They're Oh, I said that wrong. Let me say it again. The books are here to remind us what asses and fools we are. Their stay daughters, Tony and Scar, whispering as the parade roars down the avenue. Remember, Cesar, thou art mortal. Most of us can't rush around, talk to everyone know all the cities of the world. We haven't time, money, or that many friends. The things you're looking for, Montag, are in the world, but the only way the average chap will ever see 99% of them is in a book. Don't ask for guarantees, and don't look to be saved in any one thing, person, machine, or library. Do your own bit of saving, and if you drown, at least die knowing you were headed for shore. Faber got up and began to pace the room. Well, asked Montag, you're absolutely serious? Absolutely. It's an ingenious plan, if I do say so myself. Faber glanced nervously at his bedroom door, to see the firehouses burn across the land, destroyed as hotbeds of treason. The salamander divricks his tail. Go, his tail. Oh, God. I've a list of firemen's residencies everywhere, with some sort of underground. Can't trust people. That's the dirty part. You and I, and who else will set the fires? Aren't there professors like yourself, former writers, historians, linguists, dead or ancient? And at 13, so I guess I'll just stop it here. So we just finished page 86, and I'll see y'all next time for page 87. Bye!